Superman is clearly the most important, charismatic, and famous character in the entire history of fiction. The impact that this character has had on pop culture is matched by few, if any, characters to date. We can comfortably say that without Superman, we wouldn't have many of the characters we love today, as many characters created after Superman's debut were inspired by him. In practically every superhero franchise, you can find a version of Superman. When we talk about copycats, Superman is the one who suffers the most from them. And since the list of Superman copycats is enormous, I decided to make a list only including the most famous and blatant Superman copycats. Let's begin. All Might. All Might from the anime My Hero Academia can also be considered a copycat of Superman. Despite their origins being quite different, including the fact that All Might is not an alien, they share a very similar aura. All Might is the strongest and most respected hero, considered the number one, and serves as an inspiration to all others thanks to always appearing with a smile. His mere presence reduces the number of criminals, just like Superman. Another thing they have in common is some of their powers, as All Might possesses immense strength. Thanks to this primary power, he has also acquired almost perfect invulnerability and superhuman speed. The colors of his suit are the same as Superman's suit. He is definitely not the most blatant copycat on the list, but with My Hero Academia being a superhero show and him being the strongest hero, it was inevitable for the writer to take some inspiration from Superman to create All Might. Maybe Superman is the reason why he wanted to write a superhero manga in the first place. Metroman. Megamind, one of DreamWorks' animated films, features a hero named Metroman, whose origin and powers are almost identical to those of Superman. He arrived on Earth as a baby because his planet was destroyed, in this case by a black hole. As he grew up, he became the hero of Metro City, hence the name Metroman. He demonstrated powers such as flying, super strength, endurance, laser beams, and heat vision, among others. However, their personalities are completely different, as at the beginning of the film, this hero is shown to be somewhat flamboyant, and we all know how Superman is. Still in this film, it also appeared a second copycat of Superman, Titan. He reminds me a lot of Syndrome from The Incredibles. He kinda became a second version of Metroman's, and since Metroman is a copycat of Superman, I think I can consider him a copycat too. Titan gained Metroman's powers through an injection given by Megamind. Initially, he tried to be a hero but couldn't stay that way for long and turned to the dark side, believing himself to be superior to others. However, he was immature, childish, and even irritating. Fortunately, Superman, it's not like that. Omni-Man. Omni-Man, also known as Nolan Grayson, is a character from the comic series Invincible by Image Comics, which also has an animated series of the same name. The character of Omni-Man was also sent to Earth to be its hero. He comes from the planet Viltrum, where there are beings just like him who possess the same strength. Just like who? Exactly. They have powers such as super speed, super hearing, super strength, quick reflexes, invulnerability, regeneration, and more. However, what they are trained to do with these powers is something Superman would not do, at least not in some versions of him, and that is to conquer the entire universe. Sentry. The Sentry is known as Marvel's Superman. His origin, like many comic book heroes, changes over time, but perhaps the most well-known version is that he was created through experiments, similar to those conducted on other mutants like Deadpool and Wolverine. However, he was considered the masterpiece, clearly superior to all others. He gained powers such as flight, incredible strength, laser beams, super speed, and many more. If I were to list them all, the video would be endless as he continues to discover more powers over the years. It's safe to say that he is extremely powerful, having even faced the Hulk several times. His suit features an S, which, of course, stands for his name, but it also resembles Superman's suit a bit. They both have a similar aura, able to inspire their allies and instill fear in their enemies, making them want to flee at the mere sight of them. However, their personalities are different, as Superman is too gentle to be compared to the Sentry. But yes, he is clearly a Superman copycat. Homelander. Homelander from the series The Boys is a character whose only similarities with Superman are his powers, as he can fly, has laser beams, super hearing, speed, super strength, invulnerability, and quick reflexes. He is also the leader of his team, known as the Seven. Homelander has a very different origin from Superman, but to avoid spoilers for the series, I recommend you watch it. However, I will explain another key difference. Superman is typically a kind, generous guy who always expects the best from others, whereas Homelander, due to his past, has become a maniac who considers himself above everyone and everything, including his own kind. He is willing to do anything to be loved and to prevent people from disliking him, which changes slightly over time, but no spoilers for now. But one thing that is clear to all superhero fans is that Homelander is supposed to represent a more realistic and evil version of Superman. So, of course, he must be on the list. Goku. The fact that Goku is on this list might surprise many people, but if you look closely, there are many similarities between these two characters. First, their origins. Goku was sent to Earth as a baby because his planet was going to be destroyed, just like Superman, and both were sent by their parents to Earth. Both are also among the few survivors of their respective species and were adopted by humans, growing up in nature-rich environments. Goku is always seen as a symbol of hope, always managing to help his friends, who constantly rely on him to save them. Another common point is that both have two names. One from their home planet, which is Kal-El for Superman, and Kakarot for Goku, and another from the planet where they grew up, which is Earth, Clark Kent for Superman, and Son Goku for Goku. They also share some powers, such as the ability to fly, superhuman speed, and superhuman strength. I know Goku was more inspired by the legend of Son Goku, but the similarities between these two characters are undeniable. This is what I meant when I said Superman is the most important superhero of all time. Goku is literally one of the most famous fictional characters of all time, and he wouldn't exist without Superman. And for that I thank you, Superman. In another work by Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball creator, there's another clear reference to Superman through a character called Supplement. Rest in peace, Akira. You are a legend. Were you surprised by some of the characters on the list? Or did you already know that all these characters were inspired by Superman? Write it down in the comments. And if you want a second part of this video, just write in the comments, part 2. If you still haven't had enough of content about copycats, I have the perfect video for you here. Just click in the video. I will be waiting for you there.